Hello and welcome to India Today SoSouth. I'm Gautam Shankar. So you are joined in on this election special where we are covering Tamil Nadu elections, which goes to polls in just a couple of days. So election fever has well and truly gripped Tamil Nadu. So as I said, it is going to elections on April 19th, and there's going to be a triangular contest for the first time, in a sense, since 2014, for after 10 years. So this time the BJP is hoping to attract voters who are seeking a change, and who are looking at a third force apart from the two dominants in the state, of course, which are the DMK and the ADMK. So will Tamil Nadu become the second state after Karnataka, where BJP will be able to make a breakthrough in the south? The battle is, of course, for 39 seats, in which the BJP is banking on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's popularity and also State President Annamalai to make a dent in the Dravidian politics that has dominated the state for decades. So, what is the ground situation like? What is the voters' sentiment there? To understand more of this, we have India Today's Deputy Editor Akshita Nandagopal. We have senior correspondents Pramod Madhav and Shilpa Nair joining us on the discussion today. Thank you so much for joining us on the discussion today, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gautam,
So,
for having
first
us.
off, thank you. So first off, Pramod, if I could start with you, what is the major differences that you observe in this election and 2019? Do you feel that there is going to be a change in Tamil Nadu, which has been dominated by type of politics that is Dravidian or socialistic politics, which has created a strong sense of identity? So this is what the BJP has been trying to change. So do you feel that change is evident, or is it slowly seeping into Tamil Nadu? What is your take on this?
See, within 1 month, a lot of things changed in Tamil Nadu, especially in BJP. Because until, if I have to say these things openly, until that period, Annamalai was somebody who was concentrating on changing the state. He was the state president and he wanted to play a major role in 2026 elections. But imagine everything changed over there. He's now a candidate from this Coimbatore, and a sitting Rajya Sabha MP is also a candidate, and a sitting MLA from BJP is also a candidate. So you can actually find out what kind of equation is happening, is behind it. But however, it looks like from across the nation, the supporters of BJP want to bring a change in Tamil Nadu. But does the people of Tamil Nadu want that kind of change? We couldn't, I personally could not observe anything like that on the ground. Is that that's my opinion after going to various places in Tamil Nadu.
All right. Shilpa, you've also been covering several constituencies. What do you feel are the most significant moments of the electoral campaigns? Has the BJP's message really been well received? Because we've seen BJP trying a lot, right from the earlier Kashi Express, the Kashi Sangamam message that was delivered by PM Modi to DMK files, to the most recent Kachativo Island issue. Have all these electoral narratives been received by the Tamil Nadu voters? What is your take on this?
Well, Gautam, when you go to the ground and speak to people and cover all these political rallies, the one difference that I could sense from 2019 to 2024 is the fact that I feel the BJP cadres and BJP karyakartas are much more energetic. They are more excited this time around. I could sense that sort of energy within that BJP crowd, which was probably not there in 2019. So that is definitely a difference that I could sense this time around on ground. But when you speak about the issues that the BJP has taken up, be it Kashi Tamil Sangamam or Sengol and all of that, these are all symbolic issues that the BJP has taken up, and it's not really striking a chord on ground. In fact, the opposition narrative that forget the Sengol, forget the Kashi Tamil Sangamam, forget the Prime Minister talking about his love for Tamil and all of that. The opposition has been questioning where was the Prime Minister when Tamil Nadu was affected by floods. Why has the union government not given us funds when the state has just come out of such a huge disaster? Where is that money that people should be getting? Then the question of we are giving 1 rupee, we are getting back only 29 paise from the union government. These are far more powerful narratives than a Sengol or or a Kashi Tamil Sangamam. Probably, if the BJP at least had given a token amount as the relief fund, that would have struck a better chord with the people fastened the AIMS Madurai project. That again is used as a symbol by the opposition parties to show, look, the BJP is discriminating towards Tamil Nadu. When it comes to development of Tamil Nadu, this is the manner in which they treat us, because that project, it was announced in the 2015-16 union budget. The foundation stone for it was laid in 2019 by Prime Minister. 2024, there's not much progress as far as AIMS Madurai is concerned. So if at all the BJP had focused on some of these tangible issues, probably their narrative would have been a little better, is what I believe, because Sengol, Kashi Tamil, not many people are even aware of Kashi Tamil Sangamam, except for the fact that BJP leaders talk about it in their political rallies.
All right. These were the narratives of the BJP, but also, Shilpa, staying with you, I want to ask about Coimbatore, because you were there on the nomination day. You saw the sentiment there as Annamalai, Singa Ramchandran, and even the DMK filing nomination. So, what is the sense that you're getting there from Coimbatore? Because that is the seat which will be very, keenly watched from a national point of view as well. Despite whatever happens in other seats, wherever BJP is contesting, all eyes will be on Coimbatore. So, has Annamalai managed to, get the middle class voters and even the younger voters? Because that is the talk. He's going after the middle class and the younger generation. So, what is your sense of what's happening there?
Well, Gautam, I strongly believe what happens in Coimbatore this time will set the course for Tamil Nadu politics going forward. Because it's a very, very tough three-cornered fight between the DMK, BJP and AIDMK. It's a high-stake battle for all the parties. For the DMK, they need to win this to show that, one, they have breached the traditional AIDMK stronghold, and also to show that they are able to keep the BJP at bay. Them defeating Annamalai would be the biggest political statement that they can put across, in Tamil Nadu. For the AIDMK, which is, of course, there's a lot of question about EPS's leadership, about, whether AIDMK still has that appeal amongst the voters. Coimbatore has been a home ground for AIDMK. It's their traditional bastion. So for AIDMK, they need to retain that, bastion to show that they are still in the game. They are still the powerful party in Tamil Nadu. For the BJP, if they win Coimbatore, that would truly signal that BJP has arrived in the Dravidian land. And for Annamalai also, because it's the kind of the BJP has been projecting him as a very popular leader. So if at all he loses, then the narrative that they're trying to build then sort of falls flat. So they can't afford to have that at this point in time when they're concentrating heavily on the 2026 elections as well. So it's a very high-stake battle for all the parties. And you asked specifically about Annamalai. There's no doubt that he's having a lot of support within youngsters, within upper middle class, voters. Because every time you ask them, multiple people have multiple reasons to support Annamalai. For instance, some say, look, he's so educated. Look at the kind of qualifications he has. He's given up all of that to come and serve the people. So that means he's here for change. That was, something that a lot of people talked about in Coimbatore. For the business houses, they see, Annamalai is one line that he said, that I will be the hotline for Coimbatore with Delhi. That has resonated well with some, industrialists, with some traders, business people, because they believe Coimbatore, of course, is the hub of MSMEs, hub of industries. It's known as the Manchester of the South. So there's a lot of business interest as far as Coimbatore is concerned. So they see Annamalai as someone who can bridge that gap, who can take their concerns to Delhi, get them addressed. So there are multiple reasons why people support Annamalai. Of course, for the Hindutva voters, they see Annamalai as someone who's been fiercely taking on the Dravidian parties. There's definitely a lot of popularity that he has on the ground, no doubt about it. But the question and the key challenge for BJP is to penetrate into the rural parts of Coimbatore, which is areas like Sulur, Palladam, etc. And BJP leaders themselves admit that rural areas are the biggest challenge for them this election. Urban areas, they do believe that they have a significant support base, but whether or not they'll be able to penetrate the rural areas where the DMK and the AIDMK have much better infrastructure, grassroots level connect, that is the big question for the BJP in Coimbatore.
All right. Penetrating the rural areas is going to be tough. So coming to you, Akshita. So you were in Tamil Nadu the last week, and you covered a number of constituencies as well. So what is the perception you got, particularly from the seats that you covered, and also speaking about the constituencies in Chennai? Are the infrastructure issues or the development issues going to be a key factor there? What did you manage to touch on?
As far as Chennai goes, I think 100% the issue, it's all about civic issues essentially. But having spoken also about all of the constituencies that I've covered so far, Gautam, my sense is that, look, MK Stalin in an interview to us very clearly said that the fight is for number two. And I couldn't agree more because I think number one is very, very clear. I'm sorry, Pramod, can I request you to mute yourself, please? So the challenge to me is for the DMK, it's clear. They're going to be number one. The question is, can they actually retain how much they did in 2019? Vote share wise, I don't see a problem because even if the BJP is making inroads or any of that, they're not in any way managing to really carve into a DMK vote base. They're not managing to do that at all. So, the DMK voter, even if they're frustrated with the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, there's no chance in hell they're going to switch over and vote for the BJP. So that vote share is essentially intact. As far as number two goes, it is going to be interesting to see between the AIADMK and the BJP. And by BJP, I'm referring to the NDA because the BJP on their own may not be really a force to reckon with. With the NDA, perhaps they have more meat really and more substance in Tamil Nadu. So the NDA versus the AIADMK plus, it'll be an interesting battle, no doubt. But I do believe that the AIADMK has one big strength, which is their symbol. That's not going anywhere, and that is a big strength for them. So, you can't just completely dismiss the AIADMK. And what's very interesting for me is everywhere I went, to every AIADMK leader that I spoke to, Gautam, they reiterated repeatedly. Every time I asked them, who did you believe, who do you think is your closest competitor? They'll always say that Tamil Nadu is a state where it's a DMK versus an AIADMK. National parties have absolutely no say there. So even the AIADMK is trying to reinforce that the BJP is not a force to reckon with whatsoever. As far as the BJP's campaign is concerned, and many of them that I covered, what really stood out for me, and Shilpa referred to some of the issues that just don't resonate on ground. What really stood out for me is that in most of these rallies, you'll hear all of these Tamilians standing together and screaming Bharat Mata Ki Jai. And it sounds completely off. It sounds completely odd. And while these are slogans that you hear everywhere in the north, in every campaign, to hear Bharat Mata Ki Jai, which is a Hindi word in Tamil Nadu, it just sounded abnormal. And I think that, that kind of, the campaigning, putting out a right message. You can send out a Bharat Mata Ki Jai in Tamil. That would have resonated more on the ground. The fact that you've got Tamilians all screaming Bharat Mata Ki Jai kind of sounded off for me. And those are, I think, some of the issues that the BJP hasn't gotten right in this election. And that's the gap that they really need to bridge if they want to kind of reach out to the Tamil voters. As far as Chennai goes, look, Chennai, and I said this in my show as well, that Chennai largely is a DMK Nadu. I don't see that changing, quite honestly, because the BJP may be trying to put up a fight. The AIADMK seats like Chennai Central know that it's a DMK stronghold. So yes, there are attempts to put up a fight, and Chennai South could be interesting, but Chennai Central, I really see it going the Anadimaran's way essentially. So that's my sense from Chennai. Over an overall constituency wise, DMK first, second place is the big fight.
All right. Right now, coming to you, Pramod, I just want to ask about, let's now switch focus to the DMK's campaign, because their campaign has unequivocally been focused on how the center has not been giving out funds to the state, even from the disaster relief fund, or even for what the state deserves in terms of taxes, the devolution of taxes. So this unequal funds coming from the center has been made a big issue by the DMK. Is this going to be an issue that's going to play a big factor for the DMK in this upcoming election? So when we are talking about combating PM Modi here.
Well, we can say something like this, like the Chief Minister's campaign, wherever he goes or his little speeches, he had made some 6-7 points clear, and he's repeating them. Just like you mentioned about the center's fund, it's about the state's autonomy. And now, like recently, he has also called the Manipur issue. He has pulled it back. He is saying that women's safety is a priority for the state of Tamil Nadu, which is a very important and sensitive matter. So he's actually bringing the Manipur issue, the wrestlers issue, and he's speaking on those matters. While BJP is only targeting, they are claiming that there is dynasty politics, there is which is not resonating. There is also about corruption, which is not resonating. Now they have started picking up the drug menace. But the thing is that, like, now trying to connect Jafar Sadiq is also not that exactly resonating, because it's in the preliminary investigation stage. So, like, if you ask me, the chief minister, his battle is exactly, he's actually having this campaign very strong and he's talking directly to the people. But BJP's campaign is actually divided. On one side, you have Annamalai, the concentration is going on that side. And then you have the prime minister. When in other places of the country, it's only the prime minister, it is being divided over here and it is not going well. Because, like, what do they have to counter the chief minister? That's something. For example, Udinidhi, he goes and speaks anywhere. There are, like, some people will ask him about the promised buses and everything for women, issues on that, and he's replying over there. For example, the free bus scheme, the money that is being paid to women, all these are DMK's what do you say, like important schemes, and they are, like, very clearly speaking on this matter. They are concentrating on the women vote. Right. And if you ask me about 2014 or 2019, you could simply say that in 2014, Jayalalitha had her all the priorities set together. Her campaigns were straight, and it was a direct fight against it. Like, it was like she asked Modi-a lady. The same thing the chief minister is doing now. Right. So, like, even if, like Akshita said, even though she has me not to say, like Akshita said, it's very clear the fight is between ADMK and BJP for the second seat. That's what the chief minister said. And on the ground, it looks like that only.
All right. In a counter to what the DMK has been saying, now in the most recent interview of PM Modi on ANI, he has spoken out against about DMK's hatred of Sanatana Dharma. So this has been a prominent political poll narrative as well, hasn't it? So Akshita, do you see this being a factor, this elections, trying to say that whatever said and done, there are several castes that will get that are at play in Tamil Nadu, but a largely Hindu population in Tamil Nadu. So, will BJP strategy there to go after them by saying that DMK is anti-Sanatana Dharma really resonate with the voters?
I don't think so, Gautam. To largely even the BJP supporters that I spoke to in Tamil Nadu, why are they supporting BJP? Is it on issues of religion? Absolutely not. They're all saying we support Modi ji because we believe that he brings development. We like his work. At no point did they say that, we're very offended by the issue of Sanatana Dharma. We want a Modi because, we believe BJP is a pro-Hindutva party. None of that. It's not something that's ever cut ice in Tamil Nadu politics. And I don't think it's going to start anytime now. It needs years perhaps to fester for the BJP. Maybe they're setting stones essentially for the next election on these kind of issues. But for now, something like a Sanatana Dharma doesn't really resonate. I will, however, say that, the one thing that perhaps works in the BJP's favor as far as the DMK is concerned is comments by the likes of Dayanidhi Maran, when he calls Annamalai a joker. Those issues actually resonate because there are questions about whether the DMK has gotten too arrogant. Because what does that lead to? That leads to a sense of anti-incumbency, a sense of anger against the ruling regime. So those kind of issues perhaps would work better in the BJP or even in the AIADMK's favor than actually Sanatana Dharma or any of that, in my opinion.
Yeah, staying on that, what you said, Dakshita, basically calling Annamalai a joker, it could be, would it be perceived as a mistake by the DMK because BJP are sort of champions at turning these narratives around. You call Modi a chaiwala or panoti, everything has backfired. And Tamil Nadu does have this history of hero worship as well among politicians there. So will this really be a factor? To certain sense, to a certain amount as well. Do you see that actually playing out?
Sorry, is that to me?
Yeah.
No, so my sense is that it's not so much about a narrative or a campaign or any of that, but I do feel that because you have a government, you have a party in power, so people love to criticize. Citizens love to criticize whoever's in power, which is natural and rightfully so. Where you question them on issues, you question them on what kind of work they've done. But at the same time, you don't want your neta to seem arrogant. Now, what happens when comments like these are made is not really about Annamalai or everyone being outraged that Annamalai is being targeted, but it's about a narrative that these leaders have become full of themselves. that they are arrogant, that they need to be taught a lesson. Now, you've seen that play out several times before, where voters say that, look, we want to teach a certain leader a lesson. We feel that, the power has gone to his head. That, I feel, could be a narrative. It's not really the anger over, oh my God, they've called Annamalai a joker. He's not really reached, that cult status in Tamil Nadu that a Puraichi Talaivar had, or a Puraichi Talaivi Amma, or a Kalaignar had. So that there's no question of really it resonating as, oh my God, how could they target Annamalai? But rather that the comment itself seems like, the DMK has taken this election for granted. Could we maybe teach him a lesson? That kind of a thing. That's the only way I see it actually resonating, Gautam. Otherwise, with the BJP raises issues of development, maybe yes, that works. But if you talk of Sanatana Dharma, absolutely not.
All right. So, Shilpa, another important move that was made by Annamalai there was to basically break up with the ADMK, or at least he was the one who initiated it. So, when that happened, there's also a lot of talk of this traditional ADMK vote bank being grabbed by the BJP, basically the Vanyars, Gaundars, Tevars, or even the Dalits. So, what is your perception on the ground? Do you see these voters swaying towards the BJP right now, the ADMK vote base?
As far as BJP is concerned, like Akshita pointed out, this whole Sanatana Dharma controversy or their Hindutva plan, the BJP has realized that it's not taking them forward in a state like Tamil Nadu that has been very ideologically opposed to the Hindutva politics, right? So for that reason, I feel BJP has started to look beyond Hindutva politics. Even when you speak to Annamalai, he sort of sidesteps questions on Hindutva politics and the BJP's Hindutva ideology. Because now what they're doing essentially is to crack that social engineering, which they've managed very well in other parts of the country. So for that reason, when you speak about the alliance with ADMK and BJP, if they were together, this election would have been a very challenging election for the DMK, considering the anti-incumbency on ground. But now that they're split, and the BJP has managed to stitch together a rainbow coalition of bringing together different groups, different parties. Some of it, of course, are very, very small parties. But the fact of the matter is, these are parties that also cater or appeal to certain social groups, certain caste groups. So that is the reason why I say BJP is looking at social engineering very, very, in a very important way. Because if you look at it, of course, Annamalai's Gounder caste helps the BJP to appeal to the Gounder community, which is a very dominant community in western parts of Tamil Nadu. Now, in South, what have they done? They've brought in leaders like TTV Dagans and O. Paneerselvam, leaders belonging to the Tevar community. They were expelled by EPS from the AIDMK. So there is already a lot of resentment against AIDMK amongst the Tevar community because two of them, in fact, even Shashikala was expelled. So three of their top leaders were expelled by EPS and his supporters. So there's a lot of resentment. So the BJP bringing them into their fold, it will definitely help them in South Tamil Nadu is what I believe. TTV Dagans and O. Paneerselvam. More than O. Paneerselvam, I think TTV is someone who will make a difference to the NDA this time around. In fact, Theni is one of the seats where the NDA has a very bright chance of competition, or the political fight there is very, very tough. Again, with the PMK, PMK, of course, is a party that appeals to the one-year community. Now, there are, of course, political observers questioning as to how exactly the vote share, vote transfer will happen between PMK and BJP, because BJP is not really that strong in northern Tamil Nadu, where the PMK has a lot of significance. But definitely, what one can understand from this, this alliance that BJP has stitched together is that they are trying to appeal to different caste groups. And also remember, when the Prime Minister comes to Tamil Nadu, he talks about Muthuramalinga Tevar. He's an icon of the Tevar community. He talks about Jayalalitha and MJR. It's not because he's trying to keep the doors open for ADMK. That could be one interpretation of it. But the BJP is also trying to get the ADMK voters to come to its side. So taking the names of some of these caste leaders, some of these icons who resonate amongst the people of Tamil Nadu, that is a very thought out strategy by the BJP is what I feel.
All right. Pramod, coming to you, I just wanted to ask you about, is there any sort of heavy anti-incumbency in certain seats in Tamil Nadu? Because in the last two elections, we've seen Tamil Nadu giving sweeping mandates, say in 2014 to the ADMK and 2019 to the DMK. So will we see a fractured mandate between the DMK-led bloc the ADMK and the BJP or the NDA bloc this time. Because which way do you see the swing voters who are not ideologically aligned to any party? Will the BJP be able to woo them? What is your sense on this?
I would say this once again. The thing is that, like in Tamil Nadu, BJP had very less time to go with the narrative. That's the reason. Even they do not play the Sanatana card very big, just like Akshita mentioned. Kachativa, they tried to bring it up very big. That also did not resonate much on the ground. And there are like other parties. For example, people are waiting to vote for Vijay more than BJP, even though he has not even entered the politics in proper manner. People are like saying that we will. I mean, even Rajdeep show, people said that they want to vote for Vijay. And there is another party called as Nam Tamilar Katchi that is always known to get the votes of this swaying percentage. They used to get their votes, so they're also on the fray. And the very important aspect is that AIDMK votes, I don't think it's going to break, first of all. And second thing is that if there has to be any kind of anti-incumbency, it should be in nearly 6 districts where we saw the natural calamity in December. And they are actually, like, the government has paid them money, and the DMK government is blaming BJP, for like not releasing funds. So those things are actually, people are trying to understand it, because every day the chief minister is speaking about it, and he claims that we like asked for 37,000 crores, the money, we do not get it. That's the reason we are even going to the Supreme Court to get that money. And BJP has not said anything about it so far, except for claiming that 800 crores has been released. That for that also DMK once again says that that is state disaster relief fund that is supposed to be released by the center every year. So each narrative, the DMK's narrative is very clearly reaching the people, while BJP had very less time. I'm telling you, BJP had very less time, and they are concentrating on certain votes and the popularity of PM Modi and Annamalai. Will that give them the votes is like something. For now, I couldn't see a clear picture about it, because DMK seems to be like on the forerunner and everybody else on the back for now.
All right. Akshita, during your visit to Tamil Nadu as well, you said that DMK is largely, they're expected to be the majority party there, but also there could be some discrepancies in the selection of candidates, and also this anti-incumbency factor that you spoke about. Any particular reasons and candidates that you want to speak about?
I don't want to name and shame, but I think that when it comes to candidate selection, that the BJP, while they always ace candidate selection in other states, I do believe that as far as Tamil Nadu goes, they could have done a couple of things different to really put up a fight in some states. I'll give you one example, Kanyakumari, right? It's a seat where the BJP has had a history of winning. So there's been a lot of talk of Kanyakumari. When I went there, I found a lot of people, and these are BJP supporters, a lot of them saying that, yes, we support BJP, we will vote for Modi no matter what. There was that section. Then there was another section of BJP voters who said that if only they didn't put Ponnar there, we would have voted for the BJP. Why is that? Because Ponnar there, Pon Radhakrishnan, has contested, this is the 10th time that he's contesting an election in Kanyakumari. While he may have won before, essentially he has a 20% strike rate. So, should they have put a fresh face in Kanyakumari? Should they have considered putting up a different face in Kanyakumari? That's a big question. There are obviously also questions about whether Annamalai should have been in the poll fray at all in this kind of an election when the BJP is looking at the long run, and whether that should have been different. There are questions about Chennai South, about Tamilisai Soundararajan being brought in as someone, who was a governor. She hasn't been here doing the groundwork in Chennai. And in a seat like Chennai, where there was so much anger over the floods, there was so much anger against the current MP, you could have turned that around into votes. The BJP, I don't know if they'll be able to do that by putting a Tamilisai Soundararajan, who's essentially para-dropped into Chennai South just days before the announcement was made that you have to file your nomination. So these are some seats. I know I said I wouldn't name and shame, but I've done it. So these are just some seats that I feel that if the BJP really wanted to put up a fight, they should have done it a bit differently.
All right. Coming to you once again, Pramod, I just want to ask how big
I just want to interject, because one fine example of what AIDMK is capable of, actually Akshita went over there, is Ramanathapuram. A former chief minister is actually contesting from that spot, and 6 OPS, namesake OPS, are contesting against him. So that itself explains what kind of damage AIDMK, even though they don't want to take credit for what they have done, can do from the background. Yeah.
And
All
OPS
right.
doesn't have the two leaf symbol, right? He has a jackfruit for a symbol. So every single one of his campaigns is focused on holding up a jackfruit so everyone sees it and knows that's his symbol.
So,
In
staying
fact, there
with
was one journalist who said something very funny. They said, whenever OPS is going to the ground to campaign, they all say, "Sir, we'll vote for you. Don't worry." And he asked, "Okay, on what symbol?" They said, "two leaves." So they still think, OPS is related to.
ADMK.
It's not sunk in that he
Yeah.
has a different symbol this time.
Yeah. So
No,
he
that's true.
literally holds up a jackfruit in every campaign.
So, sticking with OPS and also TTV Dinakaran there, because this elections is going to be crucial for these two as well, isn't it? Because it defines their role in Tamil Nadu's electoral politics and also of their role in the NDA. So, what do you feel, Pramod, regarding these two, especially TTV in Theni? What is the sense you get of his electoral chances this time?
Well, honestly, we've been following TTV since 2017, and he was once fighting for the twin leaf symbol, and it was under the BJP rule that he went to the prison, and now he's back, and he's also like in coalition with the same BJP, which means that he can survive no matter what. That's what I would try to say. And same thing with OPS. OPS, like he came
He's a
from nowhere.
survivor.
He became the chief minister twice, and then like his son became an MP, the only MP from NDA. Imagine in 2019, he was the only MP from this NDA alliance, and then now he's actually struggling to against six OPS, and I'm pretty sure that like no matter how this thing's going to sway, he will continue his dharma yuddham, and he will definitely survive as long as he wants to, or as long as he like when he decides to retire, because Tamil Nadu is an entirely different state, and even now they are only resonating the names of Jayalalitha and MGR. So until those names are going to be alive, these two will definitely be alive. And TTV Dinakaran, I'm pretty sure that he has like different like plans for the future. Maybe in 2026 it can change accordingly, because there was like once talks that TTV Dinakaran might head BJP in the future in Tamil Nadu as well. That was like 6 months back. So all these things are, everything can happen in politics. So I'm pretty sure like TTV Dinakaran has a long run plan, but don't be surprised if he becomes the leader of BJP in maybe next like 1 year or so in Tamil Nadu. That's
All
also
right.
quite possible.
So,
We never thought Sarath Kumar would go and join this
yeah,
party after
BJP.
a 2 a.m. Strike or like something on his mind and did that. So anything can happen in Tamil Nadu, and it's very interesting. That's what I want to say.
Yeah. So there, TTV is a survivor, you say that, but is it a matter of survival for Annamalai as well? Because we have quite a few former presidents of the BJP contesting this time, don't we? We have Ponra Krishnan, Tamil Sai, and El Murugan as well. So, what will be considered a success and what will be considered a failure by the BJP? That is what I want to get a perception of, Shilpa. Because is the yardstick going to be small, or will Annamalai be given a longer run in until the 2026 elections, even if they don't make any big inputs in this elections this time around?
Gautam, given the fact that BJP is making so much noise, if they don't deliver, obviously that will become a huge question mark over Annamalai's leadership, because outside Tamil Nadu, at least his popularity is something that, we've seen it grow. And even in Tamil Nadu, the kind of aggression that he's been showing, there's a lot of interest amongst people to know whether Annamalai will actually win. And the BJP, of course, has been projecting that they are growing, they'll become the second largest party this time around. So if at all Annamalai loses from Coimbatore, that narrative just falls flat, and that is something that BJP wouldn't want at this point in time, because they are now pitching themselves or trying to project that this election they will emerge as the second largest party. They'll have a double-digit vote share. They may even win seats, and they say in the 2026 elections the contest will be between the DMK-led alliance and the NDA alliance. So that is what the BJP wants to project. So if at all they fail to deliver in this election, then entire it falls flat, and that is the big challenge for the BJP. But again, in 2014, the NDA's performance, they had 18% vote share, and they even won one seat in Kanyakumari. But will that even though political observers say that BJP's vote share is definitely going to increase this time, NDA's vote share, considering the fact that you also have parties like the DMK, TTV Dagans, MMK, all of them have come into the fold. The vote share will definitely increase. But then even in 2014, you had an 18% vote share. The NDA had an 18% vote share and they had won one seat. So if the BJP wants to show that they've performed really well, then they need to do much beyond what they did in 2014 is what I believe. Winning seats, especially seats like Coimbatore, Tirunelveli, where Naina Nagendran is contesting, Kanyakumari, all that will be very, very interesting because there are, of course, some tough seats, but those are the seats where BJP's alliance partners are contesting. For example, Theni, Dharmapuri, etc. So for BJP to win on their own in some of these seats, that would, I think that would be the yardstick, and vote share, of course, BJP is likely to increase this time.
All right. Akshata, anything you want to add on to that? Is the leash going to be a long one for Annamalai? Will they wait it out, or because we've seen all the BJP presidents, they haven't really had really long stints to deliver in Tamil Nadu. Will that change for Annamalai this
time? I think the BJP most definitely will continue to back him, Gautam, whether a win or not in Coimbatore, because the BJP has that habit, right, of not holding back. They're not going to be like, this is my big face for the next election, so I'll hold on to him till then. They don't do that. They put them in the poll for every single time. MLA, MP, it doesn't matter. They say that we'll put all of our big guns out there. So I think they will be kind of more lenient with him, even if he doesn't perform or excel really in political battle in Coimbatore. But his political rivals won't be. For him to be able to take on an MK Stalin, for him to be able to take on an EPS, to fire aggressively at them on every single issue, what will come back to bite him every single time is, look, you didn't win the electoral fight. You had no right to speak. You couldn't get the people's mandate. So I think more than the BJP really giving him a long leash, for him to actually prove himself to be worthy of being the BJP's face, for him to prove himself to be a worthy competitor or to be in the same pedestal as anyone else who's won electorally in Tamil Nadu, that's where it really comes down to him winning Coimbatore. So he may remain as the Tamil Nadu BJP chief because it's very clear that the strategy of the BJP is to work in the upcoming election also under his leadership. But for him to be able to prove that he has the mettle to take them forward, that will largely be focused on how he performs in Coimbatore. So there is no doubt a lot of pressure on him. If you ask me, maybe the BJP shouldn't have put him in the poll frame because they have so much banking and riding on him, but they've decided to do it. So now it's up to him really to prove his worth, because otherwise you're going to really have the DMK and AIADMK going for his throat. The AIADMK is going to say, at the end of the day, we told you, you should have been in an alliance with us. You let it go because of Annamalai, who hasn't won an election. The DMK is going to say every single time he speaks of corruption or dynasty politics that you have no right to say it. You didn't win the electoral contest. So I think for him to have any standing going forward into an election, he has to win this. It's not really about the BJP giving him a long leash. The other political parties in Tamil Nadu know full well the importance of beating Annamalai in Coimbatore, because it gives them that higher horse to sit on.
Yeah, Pramod, you want to?
I just want to, I want to add something to that, because I want to say that Annamalai needs to worry more about AIADMK and EPS than DMK, because DMK is only concentrating on working on their own poll booths and everything and collecting their votes. But AIADMK, like I told you, remember what they did to OPS. So they are like really good at playing behind the screen. So that is something Annamalai needs to worry about. And in the past 3 days, EPS had stayed away from criticizing any politician. It will be only like if Udayanidhi says something, he will reply. It was like a reply to whatever criticism he faced. But for the first time 2 days back, I saw EPS claim almost giving a veiled threat to Annamalai. EPS openly said, Annamalai, be careful what you speak, because ADMK is not like a party. What you think of, what you think of, it's a kind of a different party. So that immediately on the ground, that actually gave a kind of jolt to AIADMK cadres, and that is what AIADMK is known of. Unlike DMK would never do such a thing. They will not give open threat or anything like that. But AIADMK, because Jayalalitha, she used to say that she run the party like a military camp. Remember? So like EPS coming forward and doing that, that itself is like enough for them. And he just did it 2 days ago. And that immediately resonated on the ground. BJP does not have anything like that to bring their cadres together. Like the thing is that they did not have actual time to go ahead and plan this. It all looks like last minute preparation. And just like Akshita said, everybody has been para-dropped to each constituency. and they have to go ahead and be it Tamilisai or be it Annamalai, be it Naina Nagendran or be it L. Murugan, they have to go ahead and face the battles with the name of PM Modi.
Yeah. So sticking with leadership issues there, we've talked about Annamalai, we talked about Stalin, but one name we missed out is Edappadi Palaniswamy. It's a big test for him as well, and uh, uh, given the kind of cadre support that he has, how has he really managed to energize the ADMK at the grassroots level? And are we actually sort of downplaying ADMK's chances? What is the reality there, Pramod?
Well, reality is pretty fine. AIDMK, like they have a certain percentage of vote and that they're not going to lose. That vote is for twin leaf symbol. It is not for the leader. Be it OPS or be it EPS, that symbol is going to resonate because that is a symbol of MGR. I'll give you an example. 2 weeks ago in Madurai, they played MGR's Ulagam Sutram Valiban. It's a 1970s movie and it was a house full. So for them, MGR is still alive. And for them, if anybody raises two fingers like this, it means it's MGR. Unfortunately, JP Nadda showing this finger for campaign for this thing because for them it's victory. But in Tamil Nadu, it's for twin leaves. So the kind of symbolism is entirely different. So that way, and just like you mentioned 2 days ago, EPS makes this kind of veiled threat for against Annamalai, and that is resonating immediately. So it's just that EPS has to show that the party is still active. That's enough for them. And trust me, AIDMK is still an like it's a kind of a formidable force in the state of Tamil Nadu, and BJP has to worry more about AIADMK than DMK. Imagine even after going ahead with the allegations are that BJP might use the ED, IT, or CBI, and AIDMK still did not care about it. They wanted to come out of the alliance because they did not appreciate what Annamalai has said. Now Annamalai went ahead and said that after June 4th, the party will go to TTV Dagans and open its Selvam. They're not going to accept it. EPS, that Kongu belt is something very strong, and that's not definitely not going to happen. And then Annamalai goes ahead and stands in Kongu belt itself. So if he wins, he's a star. If he doesn't, it means it's AIDMK in a way has tried to teach a lesson.
Yeah. So the ADMK still a big force there in Tamil Nadu. So final words from all of you. Shilpa, now that Tamil Nadu elections is just a couple of days away, your final words and also your message to the voters there. Shilpa, we seems like you're on mute. I don't think we can hear you. So we'll just get back to Shilpa. Akshita, your final words and any message to the voters.
I think final word is that, look, this is a general election in Tamil Nadu. And I can say this right now that I'm back in Delhi, that everyone's talking about Tamil Nadu. So all of you voters out there, make your vote count, because, the whole country is right now watching you. Everyone's talking about the big Tamil Nadu battle and which way you, the voter, will choose. So this may be a general election, but it's going to have huge repercussions in the assembly election also in Tamil Nadu. It's going to have a huge repercussion across the country. So I think in that sense, it doesn't get bigger than this for Tamil Nadu. I wish I was in Chennai, but I'm not going to be there on 19th. I'm going to be in the studio here. But to every voter out there, go ahead, enjoy your right, exercise it, and ensure your voice is heard, because this one really, really counts.
Yeah. Pramod?
Well, I'm from Tamil Nadu, so I would say that my status has been responsible. I mean, quite responsible, and 72% vote percentage is an average for us. So I'm pretty sure people of Tamil Nadu will definitely vote, and this time also they should vote, paving the way and everything. Tamil Nadu has been entirely having its own way of thinking and such, but I request everybody to go ahead and cast their vote and do their job as a responsible citizen.
Especially given that it's a Friday, it's coming on a Friday, and then it could be perceived as a long weekend, which it shouldn't. Shilpa, your final views?
I think April 19th is a chance when, instead of posting on Twitter and Facebook all their comments and opinions, this is the time to actually express another way of expressing their opinion and making a change. So I think people should come and vote in large numbers. And I think this election will show us which way Tamil Nadu is headed, or if there is any change in Tamil Nadu's political scenario, that will be evident in this election, is what I believe.
All right. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us today, Akshita, Pramod, and Shilpa, for joining us on India Today SoSouth. And we'll look forward to we'll connect again on Elections Day, of course, and see what the mood is there on that day. Thank you.
Gautam, don't hold us to our word and then check on June 4th whether we were right or not.
I won't, the viewers will. So they will be the reminders. Thank you so much.
You even did campaign, okay? So like, ask her about that.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Let's have some fun. Huh?
Cornetto, the OG fun. Hogora.